Hello, okay, we'll try this again. First one I didn't have screen capture on, so now we should have everything. You should be able to see the FSMs and all of that fun stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to create an inventory. I'm just going to stick this here because I'm used to putting one in. No real reason. I just like seeing it, I guess. Oh, while we're at it, let's create a fake player. So if you have a player in a game and you want an inventory, the method I've learned that works best is to make almost like a digital mirror. So if this is our player, we want an FSM that has our inventory on it. And if we hit a button to open up our inventory, we want to view that inventory on a canvas. In the past, when I was first starting off, I'm going to make a canvas now, inventories that were almost static under the canvas, and you'd open and close it and I would just more or less deactivate it and activate it and call it good. I've learned that is a very limited way of doing it, especially if you want multiple inventories. It's best you build logic here that acts like literally just like a mirror. All right, so that's what we're going to do. This will probably have to be, oh god, a dozen videos on this because it is a fairly large thing. Inventories aren't small. I was going to do this with scriptable objects as well. I've already got kind of one here. I don't think I'll bother remaking it for this, but I'll open it up so you guys see what it is and how it's made. So, okay, well, first of all, if you want to make one, make a script, right click, create, C# script, right? And then something like this pops up. And you can delete everything that's in there. Right, so this is normally mono behavior. We've changed it because we're going to have a scriptable object. And then I've added this, create asset menu. And it's easy just to Google how to create asset menus. Something like this will come up and you just copy and paste it in here. That's fine. I do that all the time. Beyond that, these are just variables. So for now, I'm just going to have an int and a sprite. We'll probably add on to that later, but that is all it takes to make a scriptable object script. And then from there, once you have that, once that is there and it says like, okay, well, create asset menu. So if I now go create, I can see I have that thing, and I can now create a scriptable object. We can say call this one apple, and there's our int and there's our sprite, and that's all they really are. Now you can use it like that in PlayMaker, but this a variable definition, and I don't know how many people use these, but under PlayMaker at the very bottom, new custom variable type definition, which is also a scriptable object. And if I expand that and open it up, I get this little field, and it's really easy if I just copy that name with Control C, come over here, and I'm just going to literally paste that in there just like that. I think the name, you can name it whatever, but they're both going in there like that, and that's good. And what that does, for those that don't know, is if I make an FSM now, and I you have your tabs, right? If I go to the variables, I can now have it right there. It is now a standard variable for me, right? And it's as you see, that's what it is. So if you've never used custom variable type definitions, that's more or less how you use them, and it's just an easier way. You don't have to do them. It can speed up various little things. So anyways, I try to keep these videos below 15 minutes. So as an introduction, we have a scriptable object. We've created a variable type definition just based off of that script, right? And by all means, pause it, copy and paste. We don't have to use scriptable objects. There's many ways of doing this. So what we want to do is we need, for example, we want something that looks like an inventory. So we're going to tell this thing to go scale with screen size, and we are going to just fit this in here. If my mouse isn't so stupid, there we go. There we go. Something small, just kind of off to the side. We'll even give that. Oh no, we won't give it too much of a background. We'll give it a gray. Right. So now we have a cheap background to our inventory. And you can even call this our inventory. Now we have, say, slots. Say you want slots. So the best way to do this is you make a container. We're going to add a grid layout group. And we're going to throw some default values in this. Nothing major. A whole bunch of 5s and a couple 25s. And what we're going to do with that is now, if this is where our slots go, first we need to make what a slot is, right? So as you can see, our slots, you can't move this because this is our grid, right? And if I duplicate this, you know, I just get a whole whack of slots. Now, that's not going to do us any fucking good right now. So what we're going to do is we have a slot, and you know what, we're going to make that like that. How about reset that position, anchor point to the middle. There, now I can duplicate that. Same idea, but now I'm going to use a scriptable or game object instead of the image as the root of it. You can even call this slot. What else does a slot need? For this, we're going to do a small text, and we're going to scale it in half, just for the purpose of making it nice and clear and clean. I typically don't use Text Mesh Pro and stuff like that. I don't find a need for it. Yeah, so, and that's pretty much what a slot is. I'm going to give that an FSM name slot, and we're just going to put the references. We're gonna make these game object references. I could just drag them over, but then they're not game object references. So we're gonna call this icon and quantity. So the quantity is this game object. The icon is this game object. And now that we have that, we're going to take this over and we're going to prefab it, and then we're going to delete it. Over on our main canvas, we're going to call one called inventory master. How about inventory master also needs references. It needs a reference to where the slots are gonna hang out at. I'll also change that to a game object too. But it also needs what slots are. So there, now we have that. So if I turn around and I say, I don't know, create object, slot, we're going to store it as our current slot. Set parent of the current slot to slot container. As you can see, it will build that for us, right? Technically, if I restart that FSM, we get a whole bunch of slots, and that's going to be the main thing of what this system is going to be based on. We don't want to have a static system, if that makes any sense. We want whatever, that's fine. We want to build our inventory and destroy our inventory every time we open and close. And that's how we get multiple inventories. So if we open up the player's inventory, we build the player's inventory. We close it, we destroy it. We open up a box, we build the box inventory. And it all needs to be automatic, and all needs to be very quick. Right, so on our player, if we have an FSM called inventory, and he has an array of items, which are going to be object type. Unfortunately, our definition doesn't go for the arrays. Demo what's that called? Demo item thing. So right there. Alright, well, I don't know. We have 8. Right, and that's, as sad as it is, that's just about all you need on the player end of things, is that. Those are our slots. Those represent everything. We have 8 slots. Right now they're empty. Alright, so what we need is that when we do something, say hit I, we're going to open up the inventory, and we want to see these 8 slots in our inventory. And if you have various things in here, we want to see that in that order. And then we're also going to want to be able to click and move items around and have it reflect into here about these items moving up and around, right? So when it comes down to it, all you have is just this one little list. So when it comes to a save and load system, this is all you have to actually save and load, is this list of things. Because all the logic on this is going to be just functions of how the FSM is going to run, how it's going to be like a mirror looking into your own list. Okay, let's just check that for time. I have no idea how long this is. Oh, yes I do. Oh, we're at 14 minutes, so I have to end it there, and we'll do, we don't want to exit that. And we'll do another part. Well, I'll do it right now, but I have to end the video now. Okay.